Picture this, you're on the cruise ship, you know the vibe, unlimited soft serve, elderly people speeding waking around the deck at 6 am, someone's drunk uncle singing off key at the bar. Now imagine someone just vanished. On a floating hotel with 3200 people, 1400 crew members and more security cameras than a casino. Her name was Anna Kepner. She was 26. She was on vacation. And what happened to her, I'm not gonna lie, it's going to make you think twice before booking that carnival cruise your family's been. But here's what I can't stop thinking about this. It's not just what happened to Anna. It's what didn't happen after. The evidence that disappeared. The cameras that caught malfunction. The boyfriend with scratches on his arms and deleted text messages. Grab your coffee or tea because we are going deep. This is the Anna Kepner case. And I promise you, you have never heard anything like this. Anna Kepner, 26 years old, living in Denver, working in marketing. And when I say she was that friend, I mean she was that friend. You know, the one I am talking about? The one who knows your birthday without a Facebook reminder. Who sends you memes when you are having a bad day. Who will literally drop everything to help you move apartments, even though she has a bad day. That was Anna. I talked to her best friend Bailey. She said Anna once drove 4 hours in a snowstorm to surprise her when she was going through a breakup. Showed up with ice cream, face masks, and the entire box of set of parks. 4 hours in Colorado snow for ice cream and Leslie Knope. That's the kind of person we are talking about. So in 2011, Anna's planning this massive trip. She has been saving for 2 years. 2 years of skipping brunch, bringing lunch to work, saying no to girls' trips. All for this. 7 days on the Ocean Mediterranean cruise ship. St. Thomas, St. Martin, Puerto Rico. Living her best life. And she's going with her boyfriend Marcus. Marcus Webb, 29, finance guy. They had been together 3 years. Here's where I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started researching this, I looked at their photos together and thought they look happy. But the more I dug, I'll tell you something felt off. Not like obvious red flag off. More like if you have been in a relationship where everything looks perfect on paper, but something in your gut is just weird. You will see what I mean. April 3rd, 2011. They board the ship in Fort Lauderdale. Anna is pumped. Her last text to Bailey was literally, and I can't believe it's finally happening, with like 17 exclamation points and a million emojis. She sent Bailey approximately 4,000 photos of her new sundresses. Which relatable. Their cabin was on deck 7, room 7348. Interior cabin, no balcony, no window. Anna joked about it and said, "God, who needs a window when there is a whole ship to explore?" And here is the thing that killing me. Windowless room was about to become the most important details of this entire case. But we'll get there. First I need to tell you about the last anyone saw Anna Kepner alive. And I am warning you now, it gets weird. Okay, so it's April 6th, day 4 of the cruise. They are docked in St. Martin. If you have never been there, it's gorgeous. Crystal water, white sand, the whole postcard thing. Anna and Marcus had booked this couple's catamaran tour. Snorkeling, rum punch, living the dream. The tour company's records show they were on the boat from 10:30 am to 3 pm. They look happy. They get back to the ship around 4:15 pm. Anna's holding a shopping bag. She bought this handmade bracelet from a vendor. They're holding hands. This is the last time they are seen together where Anna looks okay. Because at 6:30 pm, things go sideways. Multiple passengers report hearing a massive argument coming from the deck 7 hallway, right near cabin 70, 348, Anna and Marco's cabin. One passenger, Dorothy, this retired teacher, she's walking to dinner and hears a man yelling, "God, you can't just," and then slam. Door closes. Now Dorothy doesn't think much of it. Have you ever been on a vacation with your partner? Sometimes you fight about the stupid stuff. Why did you pack 6 pairs of shoes? Or no, I don't want to do the snorkeling thing again. Vacation stress is real, but here's where it gets interesting. At 7 pm, Anna's at the buffet, alone. A crew member named Sophia remembers her because Anna started asking about working on cruise ships. What is it like? Do you miss your family? The whole thing. Sophia said Anna seemed quiet, maybe sad. But not like in danger sad, just relationship fight sad. Where is Marcos during this time? Oh, Marcos says he's at the sports bar on the deck 12 watching basketball. The bartender kinda confirms a guy matching his description was there. And here is the thing, no credit card receipt. Marcos paid cash. So we can't actually prove when he was there or for how long. Just a guy who looked like him. At 8:40 p.m., Anna meets up with this couple, Jennifer and Tom Hartley. They hang out at the pool earlier in the cruise. You know how cruise friendships are. You meet someone, your best friend, for 6 days, you never talk to them again. They had hung out at the pool earlier in the cruise. You know how cruise friendships are. You meet someone, your best friend, for 6 days, you never talk to them again. The Hartleys said Anna seemed off. She orders wine, doesn't drink it, keeps checking her phone. Jennifer literally asks her, "Hey, you okay?" And Anna does that thing we all do. That smile. That I am fine smile when you are absolutely not fine. And she says, "Caught, just some boyfriend stuff." You know how it is. If you have ever said just some boyfriend stuff for a friend, you know exactly what that means. Tom noticed Anna kept looking at the bar entrance like she was waiting for someone. At 9:30 p.m., Anna excuses herself to use the restroom. The Hartleys finish their drinks. They figure she'll come back. She doesn't. They assume she texted Marcos, they met up, whatever. They go to the comedy show, normal cruise night. Except at 11 p.m. Marcos reports Anna missing. Let's do the math together. Anna leaves at 9:30, Marco reports her missing at 11. That's 90 minutes. An hour and a half on a cruise ship, where there is literally nowhere to go. Now Marco says he went back to the cabin after the sports bar, fell asleep, woke up at 10:45. She's not there, he calls her, no answer, then goes to security. And look, maybe that's true. But here is a part that made my jaw actually drop when I found out. The Ocean Meridian has cameras everywhere. I'm talking you can't sneeze on that ship without being on camera. Elevators, halfway decks, dining rooms, casino, everywhere. And there is no footage of Anna after 9:30 p.m. None. She left the bar to go to the bathroom and just vanished. Like she walked into the Bermuda Triangle on a ship. I literally said, "What the hell?" out loud when I read that. How does someone just disappear? Alright, ship security goes into full protocol mode. First thing they do, sweep the cabin. Anna's phone is there. Her purse, ID card, credit card, all there. What's missing? The turquoise bikini from earlier, the sundresses she changed into, and that handmade bracelet from St. Martin. They searched the entire ship, and when I say entire, I mean every closet, every storage room, every weird crew only area. These are like high-tech things that alert security if something the size of a human goes over the railing. No alerts. They are making announcements over the intercom. Anna Kepner, please report to guest services. Anna Kepner, your party is looking for you. Nothing. The interview crew members review security footage. And this is where I need you to really listen because this part made me go from concern to full conspiracy mode. The ship's security officer Carlos Martins says they reviewed quote all available footage. But when Anna's family lawyers up and requests to footage, the cruise line says, "Oh, well actually several cameras were malfunctioning that night." I'm sorry, what? Which cameras? Oh, just the one covering the X7 corridor near Anna's cabin? And the one by the lifeboats? All offline? All on the same night? The cruise line like, yeah, technically difficulties happens all the time. We are basically a floating city, stuff breaks. But 3 cameras in the exact places Anna might have been all broken at the same time. That's not a technical difficulty. That is suspicious. Anna's parents didn't buy it. And honestly, I didn't buy it. So the ship docks in San Juan, Puerto Rico the next morning. Now we get into maritime law, which is wild. Basically, when a crime happens on a cruise ship, who investigates is complicated. It depends where the ship's registered, where the crime happened, who is involved. The Ocean Meridian registered in the Bahamas. The incident happened in international waters. Anna and Marcus, both American. The FBI steps in. Special Agent Diana Cordero boards the ship. And she immediately interviews Marcos. Now I read the FBI report, well the parts that got leased, and Marcos tells her he and Anna fought about wearing stuff. She wanted to get engaged, he wanted to wait for a promotion. They argued, said things they regretted. He went to cool off, she went to dinner. He thought he was venting to the Hartleys, so he wasn't worried right away. So far, plausible. But then Agent Cordero starts finding problems. Marcos said he was at the sports bar from 6:30 to 9 p.m. The bartender says he showed up around 7:30. Where were you for that hour, Marcos? Marcos changed his story. Oh, I was walking around the deck clearing my head. No cameras caught that, by the way. Convenient. Then they noticed Marcos has scratches on his forearm. fresh ones. When they ask him about it, he's like, I don't know, maybe I scratched myself in my sleep. But here is what really got investigators' attention. Multiple crew members said Marcos seemed caught, oddly calm. Like his girlfriend is missing on a ship in the middle of the ocean. And he's not crying, not freaking out, not pacing the halls yelling her name. One crew member said Marcos asked about rebooking activities for the next day, while they were still searching for Anna. Now look, everyone processes trauma differently. Some people shut down, some people go into robot mode. But combined with everything else, the chain timeline, the scratch, the deleted text we are getting there, it's a lot. The FBI interviews everyone they can. 3,200 passengers, 1,400 crew. But here is a problem with cruise ship investigation. People leave. The dock everyone gets off goes home. Your witness pool just disappears. He says he saw a woman matching Anna's description on deck 7 after around 10 p.m. She was alone leaning the railing looking at the ocean. He almost went over to check on her, make sure she was okay. But his wife called him back to the cabin. And guess where this sighting was? Right near one of those malfunctioning cameras. Witness 2, Javier Cortez, a crew member, a cleaner. He's doing his 11 p.m. rounds and finds a bracelet in stairwell between deck 7 and 8. He turns it into lost and found. Anna's family confirms it, matches the bracelet she bought in St. Martin. But when the FBI tries to get it from the lost and found, the cruise line is like, oh, we can't find it. It's gone. The evidence is gone. I'm sorry, how does evidence just disappear? Witness 3. This one gives me chills. Keith Marison, a passenger, he's smoking on deck 9 around 10:15 p.m. and he hears a splash. He looks down, doesn't see anything. Figures someone throw something overboard, or maybe it was a wave. Doesn't think about it again until 2 days later when she hears about the missing woman. At 10:15 p.m., the FBI traces the ship like a crime scene. They search Marcos' cabin, photograph everything, collect evidence. No blood, no signs of struggle. They take his phone and laptop. Marcos had deleted entire text conversation with Anna from that day. The FBI forensic team recovers it. And I'm gonna read you these texts because they are important. Anna, 6:47 p.m. Quote, I need space. Going to dinner alone. Marcos, 6:50 p.m. Quote, don't do this. We need to talk. Anna, 6:55 p.m. Quote, not tonight. I'll see you later. Marcos, 7 o'clock. Quote, where are you going after? Anna, 7 o'clock. Quote, drink with Jennifer and Tom. I'll be back by midnight. Then Marcos, 8:15 p.m. Quote, when are you coming back? Marcos, 9:42 p.m. Quote, where are you? Marcos, 10:08 p.m. Quote, Anna, answer me. Marcos, 10:25 p.m. Quote, this isn't funny. The last text, 10:25. 35 minutes before he reported her missing. Marcos says he was embarrassed about how needy he sounded. But here is my question. If your girlfriend is missing, are you thinking about deleting embarrassing texts? Or are you losing your mind trying to find her? Then they check his laptop. Search history from 3 weeks before the cruise. Quote, can you survive falling off a cruise ship? Quote, how far do cruise ships travel from land? Cruise ship overboard survival rate. Marcos says he watched a documentary about cruise ships accidents and went down a rabbit hole. And okay, I'll be honest. I have definitely gone down weird research rabbit holes at 2 a.m. How do submarines work? Or what is the deepest part of the ocean? But 3 weeks before your cruise, searching about surviving going overboard, that's not a rabbit hole. That's the pre-marriation. Or at the very least, it's the worst coincidence of all time. Let's talk about what actually happened, because this case has more theories than a Reddit thread. Anna Kepner was declared legally dead in 2006, 5 years after she disappeared. No body, no new evidence, no charges. Marcos maintained his innocence the whole time. He hired a lawyer even though he was never officially a suspect. He did a few interviews crying, saying he loved Anna, he had nothing to do with it. He lost his job, his friends stopped talking to him, his family got death threats. And look, if he is innocent, that's awful. I genuinely mean that. Being falsely accused of murdering your girlfriend would destroy anyone. In 2014, Marcos moved to Seattle, legally changed his name to Marcos Brennan, and just vanished from public life. Anna's parents, Richard and Susan, became advocates for cruise ship safety. They pushed for better camera coverage, stricter investigation protocols, mandatory reporting of crimes. There is actually a law now, the Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act from 2010. It requires cruise lines to report crimes to the FBI, maintain to rape kits, have medical staff trained in forensic stuff. But enforcement is spotty at best. The Kepners sued this cruise line for negligence, inadequate security mishandling the investigation. The case settled in 2015. undisclosed amount. The cruise line admitted nothing. Here is something that bothers me. The FBI's final report obtained through FOIA request in 2019 has this redacted section. If mentions quote additional evidence deemed inconclusive. What evidence? We don't know. It's blackout. National security? Privacy? Or something the FBI doesn't want public. The speculation is wild. Some people think the cruise lines paid off investigators. Some think Marcos had help from crew. Some think there is a serial predator who worked on cruise ships. In Anna's cabin, investigators found her journal. The last entry was from April 6th. The morning everything went wrong. She wrote, and this just destroys me. Day 4. Woke up to the most beautiful sunrise. Marcos and I are doing better after yesterday's weirdness. Today is going to be perfect. I can feel it. Sometimes you just knew when everything is going to be okay. End quote. She thought everything was going to be okay. She was wrong. This is what the Anna Kepner case. Say her name. Remember her story. And don't let her disappear twice. I'll see you in next one. Take care of yourself.